Hello, my name is Dan Johnson and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing the brand new Steelbook from Doctor Who, and that is Doctor Who and the Daleks, the 1964, I think it is, Peter Cushing movie, which has now been upscaled to 4K. They made two of these films and they used the Daleks being one of the first serials they did with William Hartnell, and then Dalek Invasion of Earth, and to be honest, I prefer the second one. But still, I have decided to buy the new Steelbook after owning the old Steelbook, which I bought a little while back when I was collecting out Steelbooks. The difference, or the main difference, is that this one is just Blu-ray. The new one is 4K as well as Blu-ray, and you get a whole new design, and in terms of consistency it will match the design that we're getting later on. I think it might be next month for the second film. Even though I didn't buy one, there is a new Blu-ray version which is kind of like a box set almost, with art cards and stuff like that, and I decided not to buy that. The only reason I bought the 4K one was because I now have a 4K TV. I now have a 4K player, something that I bought fairly recently, and I thought that it would be cool to have something Doctor Who related on 4K, because that doesn't really happen very often. It'd be interesting to see whether something that was taken from the 60s can actually be exported properly into 4K. There was a documentary thing they added on the Blu-ray which had a few interesting things about how they made or upscaled the film, and how they had to neaten up, the frames, and got rid of those, black marks, the little glitches and things. Well, they're not really glitches, the damage to the film and stuff, and now how they repaired all of that. So they've done that and released the Blu-ray version, rightfully so, and now they've just upscaled it to 4K and decided to release another version. In fact, release another two. But today we're going to be talking about whether we think that's actually worthwhile. But first, let's talk about the design of the Steelbook, and I really love the use of colour and the layout within this one, and then the next one, which will be consistent with it, I think is quite a nice feature. I think it also matches the style of the posters from the film, I think, originally. And I think that those were so full of colour and everything. And then you take a look at this Steelbook and they've used this very minimalist design almost. They kind of have that art element within the middle, but overall it's a rather plain Steelbook. But this went all out on that colour, and I think it looks even better for it. If we spin it round, we can look at the back, and on the back we have an image of Peter Cushing, which I believe is new artwork. If not, it was taken from the posters. There's plenty of colour here. Once again, a description of the episode. Plug in the fact that it's been restored to 4K. Well, not restored, it was more of a upscale, because it was never initially 4K. It's got a whole bunch of special features. Some of them have been listed as new, such as the Dalek Legacy, Destination Skaro, and restoring Doctor Who in 4K. And then we have some audio commentaries, which are or are not in the original release. Thank you very much. Some stuff about 4K, a whole bunch of technical information. And then if we take the slipcase off, this is not really much of an issue. But with these Steelbook covers, the J cards, I do, are they G cards maybe because they're shaped like a G? I do find them quite annoying because they don't actually, once you've taken out the seal, that's not going to hold ever. So that's just going to slip out really easily. At least with the other ones that have sides, they actually hold your Steelbook in place. This is now just a piece of paper. Now we can have a look at the full majesty of the Steelbook. So the front, once again, looks brilliant. The use of colour and everything. And then if we take a look at the back, we have the TARDIS amongst a bunch of vines, which I think is quite cool. It's quite a nice image, quite a striking one. And then I think my favourite bit, however, is the spine. I think the pop art design works quite well here, and if you put that on your shelf, that's going to really stand out, so I think that's a really good thing. Once you crack it open, we have two discs. So we have the artwork continuing over, matching the one from the 60s. We have the 4K release first, which is the one I shall be listening to and watching tonight, with Peter Cushing and the TARDIS. Then on the general Blu-ray release, because they've given you a 4K and a Blu-ray, we have a whole bunch of Daleks. Now that I've got the film playing on the 4K version, I know it doesn't really work on the camera, but I'm just going to describe it briefly. I think that overall it looks pretty good, but I would not say it's massively different. the colouring is quite good, and the general look of the film it goes well. But I think that it's just because it's simply filmed. Some of the sets are just like box rooms. Like this one, there's not really much for it to really pick up on. I mean, it is incredibly impressive though for a film that came out in the 60s to look like this. Overall, this release is quite good. I think that a lot of work has gone into making it 4K and for creating artwork for it. And I think that overall this represents the film a lot better than the original Steelbook does. It's also good for those that didn't get the original Steelbooks, so they can actually own something that is in Steelbook form of the movies, and something that will be so consistent as well. I think makes a nice little collection. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you are new. I have another unboxing coming out later this week of season 22, which I'm currently waiting for the postman to deliver. It should be here any time now. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.